What's up, guys? It's your boy Chad here from Defund Simping, and today we have a special guest. Welcome to the new YouTuber on the block who's going to take over. He's not Mr. Beast. He's Mr. Based.
I'm based.
The based version. So we're getting to my boy Desirable Truth. Shouts out to him. He's been grinding really hard. This is about looks versus status. I can't wait to see girls show their true colors about this because I think some girls are going to say status over looks. Let's see.
I can't wait.
Let's figure this out.
Smoke them.
All right.
Do men value a woman's looks or her status more?
So obviously it's looks. Do you care about girl status?
Absolutely not.
Zero. Honestly,
I want you to not have status.
yeah, zero. Like
Please don't have status.
Like if anything, if a perfect scenario is like 200 Instagram followers and just your uncle and your mom and your
Right.
dad. If I get to your following, it's just Tyga.
You've never been outside.
Like exactly.
I would say looks.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, looks.
The men think about the beautiful, how beautiful is one woman. They don't think about and the money.
Did you
Probably.
go with that accent?
I think I could tolerate it for a couple dates, but I don't think I can go like wife.
That's fucking crazy.
yeah,
yeah.
that's a little
I
wild.
would say looks.
That's a mixture of both, baby.
No,
Looks.
delusion.
Looks.
Honestly, looks for sure.
Why do you feel looks?
I mean, no offense, but men think with their penis first.
Looks, I could see that.
Why do you feel that way?
Because it's always like, oh, we have to look a certain way to go out and attract a man. You know, we only have what we wear on our bodies as like a introduction. They judge us based on how we look, and then they decide if they want to talk to
If they want
us.
to talk to you, yeah.
Now, does a woman value a man's looks or status more?
Status.
I'll say status. Just because it just depends on like
Honestly,
say little baby ugly. I can't even lie to you. But he, you know, just because his status and who he is, if he was a regular dude on the street, you know, he would not be getting women.
nothing.
Status.
Why do you think that is?
I mean,
So I think girls like being with the guy everyone wants to be with.
Right.
That's just my take, you know. When, like he said it best. Like a rapper could be 5'4",
Mhm.
but if he's the rapper
Kevin
and
Hart.
he's performing,
5'2".
it's just it is what it is. So here's the thing, though. Okay, guys, when girls say status, I think guys are thinking about blue check mark, 1 million followers. I think guys can have niche status or location status. Let's just say at your gym, when you walk in, hi, Mr. Jennings, you know, hi, Mr. Johnson. Like everyone knows who you are.
Right.
That girl's like, this guy fucks. Like everyone knows this guy.
Right.
So he's not like Instagram famous, but when he goes to a place, everyone knows him.
But also the tier of woman is going to care about the tier of status.
True.
So an average girl is going to be really, really enthralled with local status.
Yes.
But a high-level girl is going to see local status and be like, you're a big fish in a small pond. You're a geek. Like, I have athletes in my DMs. There's levels.
Yeah,
to that.
there's definitely
You know what I
levels.
mean?
Yeah, there's levels. You know, for the average girl who's not on Instagram and is not just, she may be impressed by the local status.
Exactly.
But your LA smoke shows, who
She's gonna laugh at you.
dates Diplo, like she's like, okay, you're popping in this gym, woohoo!
Yeah, well, get out of here. Where's your yacht?
Exactly.
Historically, I think women want to be taken care of more. Me personally, I'm attracted to someone's personality.
That is the biggest lie they say.
When you walk up to a girl in a bar and say, hey, what's good? And you go, oh, I'm good, thank you. You never got to know his personality.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This is my take on personality. You can wear a woman down with personality. Let's say you're her coworker and you spend 8 hours a day with her for close to a year. She may say, you know what, at first wasn't really feeling them, but over time, the jokes, I'm laughing,
Right.
the banter, I'm into them now. But off the first walk up and say, hey, what's good? You weren't interested.
I think girls say personality to come across as better people than they are.
Yes.
That they're not as shallow as
Most
they are.
girls want status, but me
I
personally,
want personality.
shut up.
And then I think their looks and their status follow after that.
No.
But that's just me personally.
Yeah, me
So
personally,
I can't
I'm
just
say
you.
much after that.
Everyone else below.
I think
Yeah.
status.
Ugh.
I mean, if I see a guy in a bar, I'm looking at his face.
Long term, though.
But long term.
Okay. Status.
I feel like status too.
Okay, so this is another take I have about status. Do you think status can also be he's a doctor, he's a lawyer?
Yeah.
So again, like status is not just blue check
That's
mark
career
million.
status.
True. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a
He's
lawyer.
accomplished.
Exactly. He's accomplished.
Right.
So guys, if you're in school right now and trying to become a doctor, lawyer, like that's status. You know, because think about it. When girls sit around at brunch and talk about guys, they go, I met this guy. What does he do?
What does he do?
That's the not what does he look like? What does he do?
Right.
And you can say lawyer, went to Chapman. Oh, that's
Some status.
That's status.
Technically.
So guys, you don't have to have a blue check mark and a bunch of followers.
Literally,
Like,
just don't be a fucking loser.
just don't be a
Accomplish
loser.
something,
Accomplish something.
and you'll get status.
And you'll get status.
That's
you
it.
know. So yeah, doctor, lawyer, engineer. That's status.
It is.
So that allows you to, you know, have status without having to be some influencer. You know what I mean?
to be respected.
See, like my perspective is like coming from a woman, like, who are you? Like, if personally, I think it's important to have a status and bust your ass and work and have a good job and do all of that. And then I don't really care, not to say I don't care that the guy is successful or not. I want the guy to want to pursue to be successful and have ambition and whatnot. But I don't think in my position I care if the guy is successful or not.
She said,
But
hold on,
I do
nothing.
think there's girls who
So,
care.
does a woman value a man's looks?
Yeah,
or
he was like, so like, like
What?
he probably could edit her out. Like, yeah.
status more?
I think they might go for status more.
Illusion. Guys don't care about status.
We don't care.
Like, we prefer you not have any status.
We don't care.
Like, I think guys that want girls for status, they want to leech.
They want to leach the status.
True.
All I see when I see a girl with status is issues,
True.
problems, traumas, insecurities, sensory overloads. Like the thought of me like dating, I don't know, J-Lo sounds miserable.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking miserable. I'm on her time.
True.
She's busy all the time. I'm cuck man.
Yeah, true.
It sounds miserable.
Yeah, and also, you know, guys who want a girl with status, they usually, it's like they don't want to work for it themselves. You know, like for example, let's say Ruby Rose.
Sure.
I know me dating her would level me up. I know I get followers. I probably get brand. Like me dating her would bring opportunities, but she's now the A side,
Right. You're cuck man.
and I couldn't be the B side to a woman. I want to be the A side. You know, so I don't want a girl with status at all.
So, especially if they're doing like that provider, they're the head of the household, they probably go for status.
No, I think that generally,
Generally speaking,
women value status more just because it looks better on the woman in general.
men and women look for different things.
Yeah, yes and no, because men look for, like I said before, right? What men you generally look for a good-looking woman, right? That's a status boost right there. Women look for
Okay, what we're trying to say is, you know, an attractive woman can bring you status, yes, but the woman isn't. I'd much rather be with a girl who is beautiful. Yeah, she does bring me status at the same time, but she doesn't have status as a person. I want a person
The looks brings you the status.
that is
That's what
correct.
he's saying.
That's what
Yeah.
he's saying. But I want a girl with 500,000 followers on IG
No.
who posts a bunch of half naked photos.
Then you're not getting status.
Yeah, you're getting shamed.
Yeah.
status. That's their status right there. So they both indirectly look for status.
Why do men value a woman's looks and a woman values a man's status?
I feel like women are generally more so going to obviously be looking for a provider more than a man is going to be looking for a provider in a woman, but they are going to be looking for someone either that obviously they are attracted to or that looks good with them, because it creates a status for them to an extent more on top of that, having someone that is attractive with them 3/4 of the time.
Do you think women value a man's looks or how much money he's making and stuff?
I think today is more like money,
Honest.
but in my opinion, I look more the brain, the mind. How do you say?
A lot of like, oh, most women do this, but me, I'm different.
So she wants to be with a genius in McDonald's.
I guess so.
Riddle be that.
And
Lies.
Also, it's like when a guy walks up to you at a club or a bar, like you don't know his IQ. You don't know
No.
how smart he is. So it's like you're gonna judge him in that
It's like
moment.
he's walking around with a fucking whiteboard.
Yeah, true. doing calculus in the
Yeah.
club.
Yeah. Oh, that's the guy I want.
That's the guy.
Liar.
I think she's talking about like a long-term asset, like he's smart,
But he still can't be poor.
True.
She just wants a smart rich guy.
True. Just say that.
So is it fair to say that as women get older, dating becomes harder for them?
Yes.
Yes.
And as a man gets older, he becomes more successful.
I don't know about that.
She said for as a woman gets older, dating does get harder. He said they agree to that. But then when he said as a man gets older, dating gets easier because, maybe he has a raise in his job. He went from the bottom to the corporate level, whatever. So he has more money.
Which is what they want.
And she's saying, I don't agree with that. Well, you should, because
It's a coping mechanism.
it's a coping mechanism.
Depends. I think it just depends because
Generally speaking.
yes, probably yes.
Okay. So a man has to be built before he can have a chance with a woman long term, whereas a woman could just have good looks.
Right. Yes.
Why do you think that is?
I think for the woman it's more hard to find a man when you are growing up, like when you are more older. How do we say? Because I think a lot of people make relationship when they are really younger. So the more as you grow up, is more hard to find someone to stay.
I'm not understanding what she's saying. I think what
I
she's
just got stupid.
Yeah, I think okay. The correct answer is when you're younger, you have more attraction. Therefore, you can attract a higher value male. As you get older, it's going to go down. That's just how it works usually. Now, some girls can get away with it. They say they're super in shape. They're doing their skincare routine. They're on point. But for most girls, when they turn 34 or 35, it's
24, 25.
It's funny. Like, hold on, go a decade lower.
Understand what?
But a man who's old and established and has money
Yeah, because
can pick any young girl.
Yes,
They
because
call that predatory. Remember that.
Grooming.
That's
the
grooming.
men have everything, so can offer the girl whatever she wants, and the girl in the new generation are looking a lot about that.
Do you think that as a woman ages, dating becomes easier or harder for her?
Harder but easier because we know what we like versus what we don't.
Trauma.
Coping.
Coping.
So much trauma.
So much trauma, man. Oh, man.
The
yeah.
years are long and the days are even longer.
Longer.
From 25 to 26, the amount of trauma they can put on their souls is just deafening.
Definitely.
I don't want
So you have even higher standards as you age,
Absolutely.
but you are also
Oh.
going for
digging a hole right now.
the top tier guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Do you think that those top tier guys are going for women in your age category or younger women?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
They know the answer.
Digging a hole.
That's a tough one. You know the answer.
Right.
It depends how old they are, but I feel like men go through a stage where they date younger and they realize that was a terrible decision.
Terrible decision. To date a freaking smoke show.
Right. Every girlfriend Leo has, he's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why do I keep dating 23-year-old models?
Yeah. Why? It's
Why?
Just,
I'm so stupid. I want that.
I want that.
Cap.
Because it's like, I wouldn't want to date my younger self.
Okay, girls tend to do this a lot, and I get it. Men probably do it too. They only want to date upwards, right? More money,
Sure.
more age. So when
They
they
never
get,
want to downgrade.
yeah, so when they get to their age of 35, they go, "Oh, I can never date someone 25." Yeah, because you're a woman.
Right.
You're
not a man.
You look to go upwards.
Right.
Men
We
look to
look
go
down.
down.
Right.
So they get older. Oh, when I was 18, dating that guy I was 25, I could never date a guy who's 18. No shit.
Right.
But like
True.
me now, I think I'm a pretty stand-up individual.
Do you think that as a woman ages, dating becomes easier or harder for her?
I think it becomes harder
Why?
because I think that there's less people available. That's obvious, right? Like people get married. There's less pool out there in your age. When you're in your 20s, there's a lot of single people, and that's who we gravitate towards when we're in our 20s is people around our age, right?
What do you think her age is?
I'm gonna give her man.
Because she seems kind of aware of the situation.
Yeah.
So it makes me believe she's not that young.
I'm gonna give her 26 to 28.
Yeah.
I think that as you get older, it's obviously harder because of that, but it's also because I think people don't take you as seriously.
I want to say it depends on the woman because, I mean, some can still look young when they're older.
I realize with women, early on that they tend to live life in the gray area.
They only speak on exceptions.
Yeah,
They never speak on the rule.
it's always
Exceptions are not the rule.
it's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Well, some women listen. Let's
What, the
line up-
1%?
Yeah, line up 10, 30-year-olds and let's see how many of them are actually still pretty freaking hot.
Right.
It's not the case. But so I think also girls stick to girl code. Like they don't want to throw girls on the bus. They want to stay. Well, some maybe not me though, but maybe somebody else. It's like they tend to always dance in that gray area where men can go yes, no.
Right.
You know.
And depending like what kind of personality they have, they can be very easygoing.
I think it becomes easier in a sense because not only they do, their dating pool becomes more and more acute. It becomes more and more specific. So when they know more and more what they want.
So okay,
This is about women, right?
yeah, he's saying women it's easier. So this is my thoughts. She dominates him. He has a very more feminine, more mindset, right? Where he's been more open-minded. I have a feeling that, she definitely kind of wears the pants in a relationship because he seems, most of his opinions have been leaning more towards the feminine side.
Sure.
So I think that, she definitely kind of runs the relationship.
Where's the pants?
Yeah, because he's, again, like, well, it comes easier because, they know what they want more. No, dude, it comes way freaking harder.
God forbid he ever finds our channels.
Yeah, jeez, you know what I'm saying?
And
Do you think a 45-year-old woman could compete with a 25-year-old woman for the same guy?
it depends on the guy.
Jesus
Because,
Christ,
like, a
dude.
lot-
Like, he just won't bend and fold.
He won't.
He's sticking to the feminine side. It's easier for them. 45 and a 25? Well, it depends on the woman.
Easiest question of all time. Literally the easiest question we've had this entire time.
The easiest
He's like,
one.
"Ooh."
Maybe. It depends on the woman.
He probably eats fake meat.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he's in that impossible shit, dude. Oh, Jesus
A lot of
Christ.
guys, like for example, myself, I want a woman that knows exactly what they want, and thankfully I got that in her. But if an older woman approached me knowing exactly what they want, the whole nine, and I wasn't already with her, it could like catch my attention.
So I counteract and go, oh, listen, bro. So what happens is as girls get older, they lose eggs, and it's hard for them to have a child. Do you want kids? Yes or no? He says yes. Okay, 25 and 45. Well, it depends. Like, it doesn't depend.
Some of their eggs might be alive.
True, exactly. It doesn't depend.
Not to mention the fact that women in our society right now who are 45 are dating younger, and they are finding success.
That's oh my God. Who's giving this guy his stats?
Bad stats. He's a geek.
Yeah, dude. If a girl's 45 dating younger, she's probably a stud. Like, this girl has done Botox. Like,
Right.
she is on point.
MILF City.
Yeah, MILF City. Most girls 45 cannot compete at some smoke show I live in
Hell
Miami.
no.
No way.
I guess it depends because sometimes you're already set like in your ways to an extent. So it might become harder because you already know what you will and won't put up with to an extent. So you're not going to be.
How old are you right now?
I will turn 30 in less than a month.
Okay. Do you think that at 30 you could pull the same guys that you'd be pulling at age 40?
Well, I was like probably less. So you're going to go downhill looks wise from there generally most of the time.
Okay. So with that being said, does it make it harder or easier?
Probably progressively harder.
Okay. So as a woman ages, does dating become easier or harder for her?
Ooh, I feel like it becomes harder because you have to keep up with your looks and make sure that you're keeping up with yourself to fit like society's standards. So I think it becomes a little bit harder. Yeah.
I think it becomes harder for a woman and easier for men because the older men get, the richer they become.
The more successful.
The more successful they are. So I think it's harder for women, but it's easier for men.
So men have more options as they get older,
Yeah,
and women have less options.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that dating gets easier for a woman as she gets older or harder?
I
will
mean, I know
probably
there's a
get
lot of
harder.
I know there's a lot of women out here that are struggling
Okay.
as they get older.
But for a man, as he gets more successful,
Right.
does it become easier for him?
It does. It does.
Okay.
They have more money.
So why is it frowned upon when older rich guys go for younger trophy wives?
because the bitter old women
True.
are upset that they're a bit old and bitter now.
But old and bitter women don't go for the nice guys when they're young and they have the looks. Why is that it?
True.
Why is that the case?
Ego.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be their ego, I guess.
It's funny, man.
That's a good question.
Like we, for example, I'm not sure if you guys watched this, had this issue. You were a freshman in high school and the seniors were taking your chicks. Why? They had little jobs, that's some money, they had a car.
They're just older.
So the freshman girl was like, well, I can hang out with you in your mom's house and we have to walk everywhere, or I hang out with this senior with a car and some income.
Yeah.
You lost. Then you get to college. You're competing for a girl where she goes, okay, everyone here is kind of broke, but I can go hang out with Reggie Bush, who's potentially going to the league. So if I just get with him, I can be set for life, or I hang out with you as a business major. Like it happens in life everywhere you go. Like there's a hierarchy
throughout the entire stage, not just in this example.
Yeah, it's in life.
Right. It's hierarchies.
It's hierarchies.
100%.
And I believe that, in high school, like I know girls who are, like I can say her name, but Carmel, like 18 years old, talking to guys who in college. It's just
or athletes that are literally worth $50 million.
So you can't compete with that.
Good luck.
Right? So those girls who are 18 talking to those athletes then turn 30 and go, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just groomed. You DM'd him, hey.
Right. You were the one smoking yourself.
Yeah, and
with your own decisions.
And he said, hey, back. And then he flew you out. And then you guys did the deed. Like, what part did he groom you?
No.
There is zero.
There's no accountability.
You saw a lifestyle. Listen, if I stick with this player in college, he goes to the league.
Right.
I can have the Range Rover, the house. I can live the whole life. You wanted to, if anything, you may have groomed him.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, like shit, like you're like, because
they're just coping.
I agree.
That their time is over now.
Time is over.
There you go. I mean, they honestly, I mean, I really don't know.
As a man gets older, does his value increase or decrease?
Increase, because the older you get, the more you should be able to provide, the more you should be able to handle, the more you should be able to do, be financially stable, comfortable.
So a man will have more options as he gets older.
As far as what?
Like women.
Yeah, because women like older guys, women like established men, mature men, settled men, responsible men, dedicated, established, they like that. So they don't want no little boy. Like women don't want no little boy, man. Like you gotta be able to do, you gotta be able to do something, but bring something to the table.
Yeah, it depends how you spend your years, you know what I mean? If you play your cards right, you can definitely be a man of value as you get older.
Yeah, some dudes are 35 and losers, right?
It's
so
yeah.
It happens.
Don't waste your time.
But, if you're not focused on that, you can fall off very easily.
Jess wanted to start a business.
Jess, you need to sell those.
Can you understand why successful men go for younger women?
Yeah. Is it shitty? Yeah, but I get it.
Shitty.
Wasn't shitty when she was young.
Yeah, it wasn't shitty when she was doing it.
She was loving it.
She was sitting in the section, bottles of 1942 coming in, she's
Yep.
on the story, partying.
Yep. She was loving it.
She was loving it. Now
it sucks for her.
Now it sucks. Cold world.
I mean,
But-
everyone has desires.
No, but I mean, younger women go for older men for opportunities. Wouldn't you say that's the same? So why is it shitty when a man goes for what he wants, but not when a woman goes for what she wants?
Say that it's only shitty when they're doing it like where they have a wife at home and now they are cheating on them with someone. Like if that's the
Okay.
case, I mean,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
guess.
for any situation.
Why
Like
bring up the
if
most
you
drastic
want,
scenario?
That's
He
right.
didn't even ask that.
That's right.
Like, what are you talking about? Now you pull this out of your ass. Like, well, if he's cheating,
Cheating. Like that was.
what are you talking about?
That wasn't the question.
cheat and just get out of.
Can
the
a man
situation.
cheat on a woman that he's in love with?
Can he? Yeah.
Why is it frowned upon when older, more successful guys go for younger women?
I think because, well, one, I mean, like the maturity level. I feel like a lot of successful guys, when they go for younger women, it's not necessarily because of the personality or who they are. It's just like the looks. And
You went for a older guy because of his money. There's girls who are 18 years old sleeping with 60-year-old men to get their rent paid. Goes both ways.
I feel like it's frowned upon because it's like they're not necessarily mature enough. You're keeping like trophy wife, essentially. Like you're just keeping them on your arm because they look good, not because of who they are as a person.
The double
Okay.
standard.
It's a double standard, right? Because it's like, oh, you don't really value her. It's just her looks. Okay, if I take this black card away, are you so attracted to me?
Right.
Now what?
Everyone is equally shallow.
True. Everyone's equally shallow. Who's more like it's a question of who's more shallow, the guy dating the beautiful woman because she's beautiful, or the woman dating the man because he's rich. You can make you can make a great argument for both sides.
I would even argue the women are more shallow.
Why is that?
Because at least men value something they have physically.
True.
They value something we don't even really have, like internally.
Yeah, it comes
it's
and
all
goes.
external.
True. It comes
which
and
is
goes.
easily replaceable.
True.
At least her looks are unique. Money is everywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, true. Money is it's yeah,
You
exactly.
know, what they can do for you in their relationship.
So trophy wife and like grooming.
Yeah.
But don't those same younger women want to go for the older guys who give them access to more opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's like 50-50. It's like a networking opportunity. I feel like essentially
To
it's
suck penis. Not much networking going on those boats and those
Just choking on dick.
It's networking. Those girls are not networking.
it's like the guys get to have something pretty on their arm, and then the women get to network and be in situations and in rooms that they wouldn't necessarily be in without them.
But it's kind of like
It's like a business transaction.
right. But it's a double standard because that man is looked at differently, whereas the woman is like, go live it up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How do you feel?
I feel as though that the woman gets all the advantages because they'll be able to get the money and do whatever they want and be able to up whatever career they want to get into by having the just the mainstream of the guy's money and things like that. So,
If you were making $100K a year, how much would you want your man to make?
She'd probably say the same or more. What do you think?
Yeah.
Same or more.
I don't care. I mean, if
Oh, one of these.
Everyone else cares. I don't care.
Everybody else is there, but me, I'm just different.
I don't care about the money, this is the truth.
So if your man was unemployed, but he had a good personality,
smart,
you'd
I
be
would
fine.
not- yes, yes.
No, would you actually give an unemployed?
That was almost racially motivated. he was just like he walked very close to him and then off. That was funny.
Unemployed guy a chance though?
Yes, why not? I would love and I would prefer to have someone who has a job. That doesn't mean you have to be rich or you have to be like the employee to the job. That just means you have to have a job.
All right, so you're making $100K and he's bringing in 35. You'd give him a shot.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Sure. Yes. If you really love me and if you really make me happy, yes.
Okay. If you were making $100K a year, how much would you expect him to make?
That's a good question. I mean, I would expect him to make more. If I was making 100K, but I know I would be making.
You see, that's what happens with girls. It's kind of unfortunate as they rise financially. They
fucks them.
For example, as they rise, right, they cut off every guy below them. As they go up, they keeps cutting guys off, and as they get up and towards like the 250, 350, they're looking at guys who, especially the guys young, fly, confident, money. That guy's not going to settle down anytime soon.
Hell no. And they want that. They want to be locked in, wedding, let's go, settle down.
But he's not settling down.
Especially if they're not very attractive. Please, women, do not make that much money.
Yeah.
You're just going to ruin yourself.
Unless you have it in you to not care about money. But I think in their instinct, it's so hard for them to like disregard that.
They won't maybe on a short term, but over a long period of time, they care. They just care.
Yeah, I think a couple of years or 6 months to a year, when they start realizing, like I'm always front, like let's say, babe, let's go to Vegas. He goes, well, I don't have it at the moment. Give me a couple months, right? After hearing that over and
Disgusting.
over, it's just gonna make her go, you know what? I need to either share a high value dude,
right,
and just share him and just be the number one chick that's living in his apartment, or just date down and have to deal with guys not having the income.
Makes it hard for them.
True.
More than 100K, so
She doesn't have to bring 100K because I take on majority of the the weight, but she can bring in as much as she needs. I wouldn't expect her
Letting the fans know we're gonna go to 15, 2 more minutes.
to be paying any bills or anything. It's just I'll be sustaining for the both of us.
If you were making $100K a year, how much would you want your man to bring?
I feel like anything that is equal to what we would need to put into something. So if we're renting a space together and whatever, as long as you're able to put in an equal amount of effort for what's being put into that, you don't have to make the same amount as I do if all you need to make is, whatever be to cover that, and you're happy with whatever.
Yeah,
I don't see that, especially with somebody like.
It sounds cute. It sounds
Right,
good on
I
camera.
just don't believe her,
It's
to
like,
be completely
well, if we're buying a house and it's 50-50, if he can just put up that, what if that was his whole life savings?
Literally, he's just stressing about it.
True.
I just don't believe that.
Yeah.
Or else that's on you. That's not any of my business outside of that.
So you'd be fine making substantially more than what that man is bringing.
I wouldn't mind it as long as they're still able to put their part in one way or another. Yeah.
If you were making $100K a year, how much does your man need to bring home?
I think I have my own money and he'll have his own. So that's up to him.
Okay, so realistically speaking, he could bring home $25K if you're making 100.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're making 100K, how much does
he's
freaking out about this question.
she need to bring home?
She don't have to bring anything home. I can provide the whole thing if I needed to.
So why do men and women look at money differently?
She is when he said that.
I think because we're set on like the man being the provider.
Bro's running.
Relax,
What
bro.
is he doing?
He's freaking just relax,
He's a
bro.
geek.
And the woman just help.
Taking care of the house.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were making 100K a year, how much did he need to bring home?
If I'm making 100K, 2 millionaires or billionaires are better than one. So I need him to make same amount.
Or more?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. If you're making 100K a year, how much does she need to bring home?
If I'm making 100K, damn.
Bruh, you better take me for
If
this
I-
40K.
If I'm making 100K,
40K.
then look, I'm gonna take her for
40K. Come on now, bro.
God damn 60.
60.
I like 60.
Sir.
So I'll say this. In divorce court, if a woman was broke, like making, I don't know, 20K a year, and you make a couple hundred and you divorce her, I'm pretty sure you're required to maintain her lifestyle where it was at.
Correct.
So dating a girl who makes some money is actually kind of nice, because if you get divorced and let's say she made 120 and you made 220, her lifestyle at 120 was already pretty good before you met her. Therefore, your alimony to her won't be so freaking high. So sometimes dating a girl with some money is a little nice, just because
That's contingent on marriage, though.
Yeah, contingent on marriage. I agree. So if you go the long way with her, great. But yeah, for marriage, I heard about that. I was like, wait a minute. So I can't date a completely broke girl, because that can mess me up if we get married and I have to obtain her lifestyle. Because I think when Dr. Dre got rid of his wife and he was a billionaire, she
And he's
wanted
not.
Yeah, and she's not. She wanted almost like $1 million a month to maintain her lifestyle.
Yeah.
And she made a spreadsheet and it said entertainment 800,000. I'm like, wow, I've never been entertained for 800K before. That's no disrespect.
Oh my god.
So I think we'll end it here. Any thoughts about some of these girls' remarks?
I think they all deep down know the truth.
Yes.
But I think a lot of them use exceptions, use coping mechanisms to make themselves feel better and to not be as cut and dry with their answers and their opinions, because they're more self-conscious of men. Where most men, if you have high testosterone, you're masculine, we just say the truth. This is how it is, right? And then we can kind of deal with the consequences. Women are different. They're not really geared like that. So they say things, or they beat around the bush, use coping mechanisms. But I think deep down, they all know the actual reality of life.
So why do you think that, the European girls tend to be a bit more based than like the Westerners? Is because of feminism and stuff like that?
I think I would gear it towards just the society we have in America versus the society that they grew up with in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think gender roles, like more organic, normal gender roles, are just very normal there.
Very normal.
So them being based is just quite normal. Or like a woman being based here could be deemed as offensive. lean away from it.
Yeah, when they're listening to, you know, Cardi B, you know, I don't cook, I don't clean.
Right.
Let me tell you, I got this ring. City Girls, right? Hot Girl Summer, whatever. That's the marketing that they listen to.
Correct.
So when
Those are their role models.
Those are their role models, right? So it's like, and here's the thing though, almost all those girls are in relationships and they're like submissive and they're, you know, like, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
like on camera, they're saying one thing, but
It's
they
a
go
different
home,
message.
but they go home to their man and they're sweet and they're feminine because they know they have to be, because the men they're dating are usually, you know, pretty high status.
Right.
Therefore they can have whatever. Or I think Offset's cheated on Cardi a bunch of times.
Every day.
But she stays because she knows going out back on the dating pool as Cardi B would be very difficult
With
to find.
kids.
With kids, it's just difficult.
Doesn't want to date down.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
where are you going to go?
True. Same with Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know, he'll cheat.
Yep.
And Beyonce knows going back on the
LeBron
dating
James
pool.
cheats all the time.
True. All the
he
time.
has NBA parties all the time.
Yeah, and
Literally.
and it's crazy. Like some people know about that. It's not like a world known.
That is
thing,
interesting that not that many people know about
which
that.
is crazy. Which is
I
crazy.
mean,
to know.
him, AD, and Kuz would be in a suite in Vegas passing around like 20 girls. I have that on like good record.
Good.
I know these.
Yeah, true. Because it's like in LA, you run up, you meet these girls in person, and
Right.
and they tell you.
I'm like, oh yeah, he cheats all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of these girls realize that, listen, you know, I much rather share a high
Like if
value
this is
dude.
the price to pay, I'm willing to pay it.
I'm really
for
paying
him.
it. Exactly.
Everything comes at a price, guys.
True.
Everything does.
And-
Success,
Yep.
anything you want comes at a price. You just need to be willing if you're willing to body it.
Yeah, and that's why I go so hard and I want so much success, because I know as you become more successful, you can demand more.
Right.
Like, let's say a girl, you know, comes to, you know, his place and she'll cook and clean unprompted. Comes over with stuff and starts cooking.
Right.
Clean but to the other guy, it's like take on a date.
Right.
So it's like she treats different guys differently because their perceived value to her in her eyes are different.
Correct.
So once you become the man, girls just treat you so much differently.
What was your overall consensus of this video?
Yeah, I think I had a feeling I know what they would say. Some girls are pretty honest with the whole status thing. And then we talked about that, guys. Like, status isn't just a blue check mark. It can be your education. It can be location status, right? So
be somebody.
And that can attract more girls
Right.
into your life. And also they may be willing to share you if you also have the status as well. But again, girls are always, not always, but for the most part, living in that gray area. Questions asked. And instead of saying the truth, it's like they'll go, well, like the wheels are turning.
Right.
Should I say the truth? No. Well, me, I don't care about that. Other girls do. I'm different. Like they try to, you know, make it look like I'm not the bad one. They are.
They're women.
I'm different.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of them lived in that gray area, whereas some of the dudes were able to go, nah, like this is how it is.
Right.
You know, like you mentioned, you know, testosterone, being able to just say the truth and just deal with it. But that wraps up to our video today, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.